here, here, and see if I can open it up. There we go. There we go. Mixed. It's a mixed picture as usual. This is up. I don't sound. Let me see. Let me see. One is higher. Wrong terminologies. Let me see. It's down bad. Yo, what's up? Oh, we live. Yes, guys, welcome to AKA Negativity with Success. Yes, welcome to another day. Talk the stock market, on market, cryptos, everything that has to do with line. Let's go. So today, 15th of April, 15th of July. I'll say July, a couple of things. The stock market today opened up mixed as usual because of the Donald Trump, what you call this dispute. But nonetheless, a couple of companies went higher today. The first one, the biggest winner today was United Health. Now sitting on high by 5% higher today because of the report. Better than expected, and it improved on medical cost and boosted investor confidence. So yeah, man, ever since the guy created a meme coin, after he created a meme coin, he killed the CEO of United Health. And then there was a bit of like concerns of like, why the fuck did this guy kill the CEO? Yeah, man, that was a weird one, man. The CEO. Yeah, man, the CEO. That guy created a meme coin, became a millionaire. Times created a meme coin. Yeah, let's actually find out what happened there, dude. That was such a wild one. CEO of United Health. Broad daylight. So yeah, here's the actual story of United Health. So on 2024, 4th of July of December, 2024, the killing of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health, the insurance company group, which appeared and was shot to death in Manhattan Midtown, outside an entrance to the outside the entrance of New York Hilton Midtown. And as he walked out to the company's investors conference, the shooter and the words delay and deny and decompose were inscribed on the cartridge cases. So a reference to how Thompson had critically faced criticism of denials and reports. So this guy was basically in Pennsylvania and charged him with killing. Prosecutors alleged Luigi had planned the attack for months, traveling to New York, checking into a hostel under fake ID, and scouting the area around Thompson's hotel before carrying it out. And he was carrying a 3D printing pistol. And officials described the killing as a grossly misguided attempt to spark a national debate about the healthcare industry, and he became something of a heroic figure online, showing a sharply divided public opinions, especially split among age lines. So what happened? The case now, where the case stands now, is now he faces overlapping states and federal cases. So in January 2026, a federal judge dismissed two of the four federal counts against him, removing the possibility of death. And the remaining counts carry a maximum life without parole. So his lawyer plans to argue a psychotic. So he was a mad. So the lawyer is trying to fight for him not to go to jail, but to go to a mental health institution. So the state murder is now scheduled for 8 September 2026. So the case has reportedly influenced at least two other acts of violence, including a 2025 arson and a 2026 warehouse fire, where suspects cited Luigi as inspiration. So, but they don't explain why he actually killed him. That was the reason behind it. Why did he shoot him? Why did he shoot him? Let's see. Let's see. No, man. It doesn't explain. It doesn't explain why he actually did that, why he killed the CEO. Guess we'll find out on 6th of September 2026. Yeah, man. The stock has been down. Yeah, man. That's the main reason. And then the second biggest one was Abbott Laboratories. It's up by 12%. So Wall Street beat the earnings report driven by demand in its medical device and diagnosis business. And another company called at AI Life Science continued in a strong momentum in biotech after positive development surrounding its mental health. So yeah, man, that's the third company that went higher by 30%. Let me show you. Let me show you at AI. This is the biggest talk of today. Actually, this is the biggest one everyone is talking about today so far. So yeah, man, here's the stock, here's the company, and then the fourth one that is higher today is Apple. Apple went higher because of investors' optimism on AI in general. And it's because of, as well as Apple is suing OpenAI. 1%. Yeah, man, they're suing OpenAI and they're asking Apple to OpenAI. It's like they spoke about it. This was the hyperscaler on, here's the Micron. It says you Micron is a memory company. I found today because of selling AI memory stocks after concerns that the AI hardware rally has become overheated. these memories and invested in a lot of money. They are tired of them, so they just dump it now. 'Cause already made them rich enough. So yeah, man, that's one of the main reasons. And the other biggest losers was TMS, TS, TSM, memory companies in the world, rising concerns about their near-term profitability. So no, this is the third one actually. G Aerospace. So G Aerospace is down today because of investors with their margins. So basically, how much they make. So yeah, man, that's the main. And the last one is Nvidia. Nvidia, and the biggest in all today, 206. So the main reason to of here thing of these companies. So yeah, man. So overall, the biggest winner is healthcare. Healthcare is outperforming all the other sectors, and healthcare is leading in terms of performance. If you invested more into healthcare today, general on today, just want to summarize that chip companies, chip stocks are having a pullback. So TSMC, which is the one we just looked at now, and shares such as your Nasdaq 100, S&P 500 is down, and then the Nasdaq lost by 1%. Dow Jones is okay. It's nothing is going on there. So overall, as chip producers fell on skepticism and that AI hyperscalers could slow infrastructure spending. So yeah, man, symbol and symbol. And then the other thing going on today is that speculative chip demand took over a hit on Korean stocks to prohibit leveraged ETFs, while AMSL signaled more significant and more efficient machines were coming. So yeah, man. And then the other thing is SpaceX. SpaceX is losing money now, so it's been public. Um, 2 weeks, no one knows where it's going. So it fell below the IPO of 135. So yeah, man, SpaceX is losing money this week. No one knows what is going on there. So yeah, man, overall it's losing because of competition in China. So Chinese competition are also going to be launching their own rocket, and then as well as the expiration date on the options, right? They're ending in August, right? So a lot of people bought into this company, hopes that it's gonna go higher, but and then Netflix reported earnings today. It's down 21, yeah, 21%. Nearly, yeah, man, it's down 21% today. On let me see Netflix. Yeah, people started with this company last week actually. So as you can see, from 107, now it's currently sitting at positions into Netflix. They're selling shit out of Netflix. So yeah, man, that was one of the headlines. And then uh, in general economic numbers, we saw that in June, retail sales came in at lighter than expected at zero point 0.2 month over month versus the zero point 0.3 consensus, and as well as GDP rose at zero point 0.5. So it made its straight sixth monthly gain. So everyone is Gucci, everyone is happy with the economic numbers. And this week, for June, we saw CPI fell at zero point 0.4 with an annual rate easing to 3.5, while the core inflation held at 2.6. And then on Wednesday, we saw PPI fell to 0.3% month over month versus the forecast of 0.2, right? But year over year, it's still high by, it's currently sitting at, PPI is currently sitting at 5.5, while the core PPI is sitting at 4.7. So yeah, man, that's what's happening there. So yeah, man, that's what's happening today in the stock market in general. Let me see, let me see. So yeah, man, the numbers move on to the commodities. Something can so it's currently sitting at 16. It's up by 5 4.7, and then looking at $100.58. It's up by 0.30. Yeah, there's so much involved in the world. Commodities, commodities. So on the commodities front, what we're seeing is that the oil is the main story, right? Crude climbed it at above 80 on Thursday, so which was today, extending gains for the for the fourth straight week at the United as the US escalated its military campaign against Iran to protect the shipping route. And then fresh strikes on Wednesday targeted Iranian's missile facilities near the Straits, and reports that Trump is still considering increasing its operation, a possible seize of the Craig's Island. and Iran's main oil export terminal, right? He's going to kidnap, or is he going to, whatever he's going to do, that's going to, Trump is going to hijack that. And then, as you can see now, gold is struggling to hold the gains amongst the geopolitical tensions. August, and then the August gold futures opened at $4,000. So it's up by 0.4 from Wednesday's close, but slipped back to 4,041 mid morning. So the odd behavior for safe haven asset during an active US and Iran conflict and a sign of real yield are competing for a heaven flow instead. So yeah, man, what's happening in there is that no one knows what to buy. Short and simple, no one knows where to buy, where to go in safe haven. Safe haven. So yeah, man, moving on to other things like crypto, those here. They should move similar to the stock market today. Yeah, man, cryptos as well are also down, 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 down bad. Cryptos are also down. So Bitcoin and Ethereum have been the bright spot this week. Bitcoin climbed above the $65,000 on 15 July, marking a decisive recovery after a volatile stretch earlier in the month, driven by soft US inflation data and a sharp reversal in institutional ETF. And we saw about inflows, right? We saw about 191 million in inflows over 2 days, and then outflows there were about 2.73 $2.73 billion outflow. And the sentiment is that we're still seeing the greed and fear index currently sitting at 26, despite a 4 weekly gain, a 4% weekly gain. So yeah, man, people are still selling short of Bitcoin these days. Yeah, and the other thing is that Bitcoin opened at 64,720, which is down by 0.4%. So it slipped as well in the morning as well. So Ethereum also opened at 1,917, which is up by 1.5%. So it drifted down to 1.8. So it is like it went higher and then went down. So it was like one of those things like, ugh. So yeah, man, let's go on to Bitcoin cryptocurrency. And the biggest winner here is Ether, because Ether moves in the opposite direction. Hyperliquid is down, Tron is down, Solana is down, XRP down, USDC down, and then Binance Bitcoin, which is a crypto exchange, which is up because of it's a crypto exchange. But yeah, man, the crypto since the war started, they've been catching L's, just L after L, and then on to bond markets. At the 10 year, the 30 year is up by 0.41, 10 years up by 0.8, 5 years up by 0.92, and the 2 years up by 1%. Bonds, which is the biggest market in the world, it's currently sitting at, the 10 year is currently sitting at a basically a 2 month high. So it's yielding at 4.6 since the 13th of July, as the market's position for federal rate hike later this year. So the driver as well is the US and Iran strikes on lifting oil prices and reviving energy inflation fears on top of the labor market concerns. The 2 year fell to 4.12% after a softer inflation data. So yeah, man, the bond market as well is quite bad. It's quite bad. So overall, the whole stock market is confused. No one knows what to buy and what to sell, man. If you like the video, it please like, subscribe. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.